Before you read, hit subscribe to my channel for more shocking real-life stories. And don't forget to turn on notifications. You won't want to miss this one. The moment I saw her standing there at the airport, clutching the oversized bag she'd insisted she needed, I knew something had changed. Her smile was different, strained, almost performative. The sunlight bounced off her sunglasses, masking her eyes, but I felt the weight behind them, a heaviness I couldn't yet name. She had returned from a week-long vacation, a solo trip she'd hyped up as time for herself. And now, she was carrying a secret I couldn't yet understand. I stepped forward, the echo of my shoes on the polished terminal floor deafening. "Welcome back," I said, voice too casual, too ordinary for what I feared might be true. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes, and that tiny flicker of unease sliced through me. Days passed. I tried to ignore it, clinging to routine, making breakfast, walking the dog, watching the sunset from the porch, but everything felt off. Her laughter, once a melody that threaded through the house, now rang hollow, occasionally punctuated with silence that seemed deliberate, pointed. I told myself I was paranoid. Maybe the trip had been exhausting. Maybe she just needed space. Then came the pregnancy test. I found it on the bathroom counter, the small plastic stick glaring up at me with brutal honesty. She had placed it there as if to announce a victory or a confession. I couldn't tell which. My heart raced. I couldn't breathe. I clutched the counter, the cold surface cutting through my clammy palms. And that's when she looked at me, her lips trembling, eyes wide. I'm pregnant," she said, voice soft, almost pleading. It should have been a moment of joy, a new life. But instead it felt like a verdict. I asked the questions I didn't want to hear, the ones I feared would shatter my carefully ordered world. When, how, who? My words were jagged, uneven, fragments of disbelief. Her silence was worse than any answer. The truth, when it came, was a tidal wave. She had met someone during the trip. Someone she insisted had been nothing at first, a fleeting connection. But it had grown, become physical, become undeniable. And now, I was supposed to accept it, supposed to smile at the thought of another man's child living under my roof. I tried reasoning with her, tried to find the fragments of us that still existed beneath this rubble. She cried, apologized, explained, but the words collided with my fury and disbelief. I wanted to scream. I wanted to leave. I wanted to believe in some impossible explanation that would absolve her, absolve me, absolve the life we had built together. And then came my daughter, her voice small but fierce, breaking through the tension. "Daddy, it's your fault," she said, eyes blazing, fingers clutching the edge of the kitchen table. "You were always too busy. You didn't care. Maybe if you had noticed." Her words trembled with a mixture of sorrow and accusation, but they landed like blows. I felt my stomach twist. Rage, guilt, despair, they collided in a storm that I couldn't contain. How could she say that? And yet a sliver of truth stung. I had been distant, absorbed in work, in distractions, in anything but noticing the quiet cracks forming around me. But this was a betrayal beyond repair. I watched them, the woman I loved, the child I had nurtured for years, dancing around a wound that would never fully heal. I questioned myself, my judgment, my worth. I thought about confrontation, about revenge, about walking away, about staying and trying to hold a fractured family together. Every choice felt wrong, yet necessary. Nights became unbearable. I would lie awake, staring at the ceiling, hearing echoes of laughter that now felt mocking. The smallest sounds, the creak of floorboards, the shuffle of her bag, the snap of a toy, pierced me with memories of trust shattered, love complicated. I imagined conversations I would never have, apologies that wouldn't suffice, explanations that would never repair the breach. And then one evening, the truth crystallized in a single moment of unexpected clarity. My daughter, curled up on the sofa, whispered in her sleep, "Daddy, it's okay. I still love you." Her innocence, her unwavering loyalty, broke me in a way that anger never could. The realization hit me. Betrayal had many faces, but love, real, stubborn, human love, could persist even in the ruins. I felt tears streaming down, hot and unrelenting, not just for the pain inflicted, but for the resilience it revealed. I didn't have answers. I didn't have closure. But I had her, and in that fragile, trembling presence, I found a flicker of hope. I didn't forgive yet. I didn't reconcile fully. But I survived. And maybe in time we all could. Because sometimes, surviving is the only choice left when trust shatters and the world feels unrecognizable.